Hello to all the students. Welcome to Rodha. My name is Brijesh, and the CAT notification will soon be out. And so I thought that why not discuss the prep plan for the month of August, right? We have hardly 3 to 4 days left, and then we will be moving into the final 4 months of CAT preparation. So I thought of talking about some sort of plan for the month of August. And while I was thinking about this, I thought that broadly we have two kinds of students. One, students who have just thought of starting with CAT preparation. They might have just started or they are about to start. And the other category of students is the ones who have started since a long, long time, but they have got stuck in a certain percentile range. So I thought that let's have a prep plan for these two different categories of students. Now, many of you might think that, sir, why 70, 90 percentile only? Why not 30, 40, 50, 60? See, the reason is if you are at 30 percentile, 40 percentile, it's just by chance, by just getting one or two questions correct, you can move to 60, 65, 70. So the base is very low. I mean, it's a small base. So jumping from there to 70 is not going to be difficult. It's just a matter of chance. But if you're stuck in 70, 90, you need to put efforts. That needs a direction. That is the reason why I have put that people who are in the 70, 90 percentile range, they need to do something. Why? Because people often get stuck here. And for these kind of people, we need some sort of plan, right? So here we have track one. Track one means the ones who have started or are starting now. And then we have track two, the ones who are stuck between 70, 90 percentile, right? So let's come to the point straight away. Both of these categories of students will have to do something similar. One is that each has to do the reading activity, the solving activity, and the analysis. Now, many of you feel that I'm just starting with CAT preparation. Do I really need to analyze? Yes. The sooner you start your analysis, the better it is for you. Analysis is not something that you should do when you are writing a topic test or a sectional test or a mock test. Analysis should happen right from the very first question that you solve. Of course, if you get the questions right and things are easy, there is no need to analyze much. But if you take moderate difficulty stuff, you are likely to go wrong, and that needs analysis. So the reading activity, the solving activity, and the analyzing is going to be the same for both the categories of students. So you might ask me, sir, how long to read? I mean, is reading necessary? See, reading is something that you should engage in because it keeps you in touch with the usual flow of things. It's just like warm-up exercise you do before you go and play the game. So each day you are going for net practice. So before that you do some warm-up activity. Something similar is what reading does. It's like a warm-up activity. So if you do that, you will have that touch and flow. So 30 minutes, some of you might do it for 45 or even 60 minutes, depending upon the amount of time that you have. But some reading activity is good. If you think you have done enough of it, you can go to the solving thing. So the solving thing is mandatory for all of us. Whether you are a beginner or whether you have gone far deep into your preparation, solving to karna padega, theek hai? And the analysis. When we see analysis, there has to be deep analysis. I mean, every wrong answer must be tagged. What went wrong? Did I misread? Did I fall for the trap? Did I miss the tone? Did I do random guesswork? So when you analyze, you need to understand that what is the reason behind getting a certain question wrong? Is the reason psychological or is it temperamental? Many of us don't understand, but during analysis, you will realize that you make mistakes because of temperamental, because of temperament. You became irritated. You were annoyed. You lost patience. Sometimes you will realize that the problem is at the preparation level. So temperamental, psychological is one category. Sometimes it is preparation. Your fundamentals are not good. You haven't practiced enough. So if you need to work at the preparation level, you will go back and practice and solve. If you think that the temperament is a problem, then you need to have a more of self-control. Analysis will tell you where exactly the problem is. So let's have two different plans for the month of August. One is for beginners and the other is for the ones who have gone far ahead into their prep and are stuck between 70-90 percentile, right? So Let's look at this. This plan A is for the ones who have just started. They are starting now. I mean, they have just got to know about the CAT notification and they feel it's high time ab shuru kar dena hai, right? So for them, very important week-wise plan I have given and you need to stick to it. And this is something I'm following in my crash course as well. So the first thing is you build the base by daily reading. Very important. You can't ignore reading if you have just started because this reading is going to bring the rhythm. At the same time, you need to work on the basics of critical reasoning because we all know that CR is not very much a part of CAT because we don't have independent CR questions. But critical reasoning kind of questions come in RC. Strengthening, weakening, inference, many such questions are there. Assumptions also have started coming of late. So you need to first build the basics of CR. And you have to focus on these 4 varieties. Particularly, there are a few other varieties, but we have seen that these are the 4 varieties that come in the CAT exam. CAT RC primarily. Okay? So daily reading must go on in the first week and you have to focus on the basics of CR. Start with what is start with what is premise, what is conclusion, and then gradually move to strengthening and weakening, and then inference, and finally assumption. This should be your week 1 target. So you can do the reading activity for around 45 minutes, 60 minutes, based on how much time you have. And the rest of the hour, that is around, let's say 90 minutes daily, you can focus on working on your CR. Try to understand the concepts. Of course, this is just the basics. You will need more practice. And once you have finished this, you have some understanding of the basics of CR, come to week 2. And what happens? You need to practice CR. Practice strengthening, practice weakening, practice inference very aggressively. Correct? And you continue with the reading activity as usual. Now the time has come that you need to introduce yourself to VA basics. Now in VA basics, you will find that there is primarily para-jumble, and whatever is the concept for para-jumble, similar concepts come for can be used for odd one out and paragraph completion as well. So at the concept level, VA does not have too many concepts, and the odd one out para completion are another versions of para-jumble in a way. So work on the basics of VA, basics like pronouns, how to form pairs, transition words. The basic grammar stuff will help you understand the VA basics. And then you come into week 3. Now what has happened in week 1 and week 2, you have gone through enough of CR. You have done some basic things in VA. Now in week 3, we can start practicing the VA. PJ odd one out, very important. Why haven't I mentioned PC? That can come later on. And summary also can come later on. Why? Because once you have introduced yourself to RC, main idea, tone, title questions, you will get to know how to handle summary questions. So summary questions can be done easily, can be understood if you have understood the main idea. So in week 3, you focus on practicing para-jumble odd one out and along with the CR stuff, and just get introduced to the global questions of RC. Global questions means the questions in which you need to read the entire passage to mark the answer. Main idea, tone, title are global kind of questions. So this is for week 3. Once you come into week 4, what you should do? You should cut down a bit on CR because now you have practiced CR enough. The base has been built. And now the same CR that you have been doing independently can be used in RC. So now the CR you can cut down the CR and start focusing the CR type of questions in the RC and continue with the VA practicing. In the 4th week, you can bring in summary, that is para summary and paragraph completion as well. So what happens in the first 4 weeks of August, that is we have only 4 weeks of course, but in the month of August, what happens? You have laid down the fundamental base for VA, CR and RC. You have become familiar with CR, so that helps you in the CR type of questions in RC. You have become familiar with the main idea, tone and title. That helps you in para summary. And because the basics of para-jumble and odd one out have been put in place, that will help you in paragraph completion. Right? So the plan is ensure that you work on the basics, become familiar with all the topics, and more importantly, accuracy should be the focus. Speed is not our concern. All those who are beginners, please understand speed is not the concern in the month of August. In September, we will come and talk about time tests and speed. Okay? Coming to the other category of students. August target for those stuck in between 70 and 90 percentile. अब इनके लिए क्या करना है? Now see, because you are stuck, practicing is very important. But one thing is critical here, and that is question selection. Now, many of you who are writing tests, you are in 70-90 percentile because you are writing tests. That's the reason why you know your percentile. Question selection is critical, guys. Any time that is wasted in undoable questions or unnecessarily complicated questions is time wasted, completely gone. So the practicing has to happen. And in this practice, you have to focus primarily on moderate difficulty and high difficulty or RC sets. So this is 3 timed passages, very important. And ensure that you develop the habit of locating where the answer is supported. This is very important. Most of us, we mark the answer on the basis of because we think it has come in the passage. If you put some effort and track where exactly it has come, you will find that there is altogether different evidence. And that tendency of not taking extra effort to go and locate in the passage results in some mistakes which we can cut down. If you cut down those mistakes, your scores will jump from 75, 80 percentile to directly 90 and then maybe above that. So this locating where the answer is supported, very important. Carry on practicing with the VA. Many people think that they are not solving para-jumble odd one out in the tests because they are not confident. I said that's fine, not a problem. But suppose in the exam, if you have easy questions from para-jumble odd one out, what will you do? So you may not be solving them in the tests right now, but you need to keep on practicing them, improving. Why? Because if in the exam easy questions come, you should not feel left out. So practice the VA questions, some CR questions, because that will keep you in touch with the inference and all. And then focus on elimination and not instinctive. Instinctive answer marking is very bad. Something similar. If you stop instinctive answer marking, you will start relying on finding the location where the passage supports a particular answer. And apart from these two things, apart from the question selection and deep analysis, always ensure that you write everything down. What did you miss? What type of trap? What kind of thing? Many people, they don't see the word except. This is one common problem. Many people don't see the word cannot. They feel it is can. Many people, they just misread something or the other. So these are psychological problems we have. Some people have the tendency to reread a lot. This is also a problem. So you need to have deep review and maintain a logbook, Excel sheet or a logbook. Keep writing down things. The weekly load is 1 sectional, 1 mock. And ensure that you reattempt and analyze within 24 hours. 1 mock per week, 1 sectional per week is enough in the month of August. If you can take more, you can do that, maybe 1 sectional more. But this is something that I expect from you if you have been studying for the past 3, 4, 5 months. And again, accuracy should be a high priority, and then you move towards speed. So practicing has to go on. Even if you're not solving the questions in the actual test because you're not confident, the practicing of those questions must go on. The review has to become deep, guys. Many people don't want to look at the bad scores they have got. But this is precisely the problem that you have. You need to look at the scores. Okay? So daily practicing and marking answers because you see some sort of reference in the passage. You're not marking it on the basis of instinct. Coming to tracking. What to track? Tracking is very important, guys. Many of us don't do those painful things. Correct? Accuracy by passage type. Very important. People tell me, the good students tell me, sir, I'm doing well in science passages. I am doing well in passages which are easy to read. But in something which is sociological, I don't understand things. So track which type of passage is giving you better accuracy. In VA, what kind of questions? Is it paragraph completion that is helping you? Is it odd one out? Correct? Also track the time that you are losing. Where exactly are you going wrong? I mean, see, you have amount of time spent per question. Check where exactly you have lost too much of time unnecessarily. Right? Selection, very important. Not only at the passage level, even at the question level. It's quite possible that an RC passage has 4 questions, 2 are easy, 2 are difficult. You should have removed those 2 difficult questions and focused on only the other 2 questions. Did you make that selection? Did you not? Why not? Attempt sources accuracy, this chart has to be very clear. And every weekend, check your error log, calculate accuracy, identify the biggest score leak. Where exactly are you losing time? And then set next week's focus. Begin with fewer attempts. Don't rush to attempt 18, 19, 20 questions. No, you can start with 13, 14. Of course, there has to be a bare minimum of at least 10, 11 questions attempted. Only then you would be able to see some sort of performance. Otherwise, below that, 40 minutes we have. So we can't say we are taking 4 minutes per question. At least 10, 11 questions is what we need to begin with. Correct? Don't unnecessarily write mocks randomly just out of sheer frustration. You wrote a mock. Many people, they perform poorly in one mock. Immediately they write another mock. What happens? You do even worse in that. So let's not do that. A mock does not go well. Do the analysis, check the reasons, do some practicing. Low on confidence, hold on for a while, get back your confidence by practicing some easy questions. So there are lots of temperamental and psychological things going on, guys. And that's why you need to be in touch with your mentors. Right? Don't change strategy every time. So you people feel, someone told me like this, try karte. Someone told me like this, try karte. Try something, see how it has worked or not, and then change your strategy. So don't do it randomly, do it in a planned way. Correct? So analyze without fear, attempt with discipline, not randomly, and read with complete concentration. Very important. Temperamental things need to be kept in mind. So this is the plan for the month of August. The beginners have to focus on building the base. And the ones who are stuck between 70, 90, 85 percentile, they need to focus on tracking things, deeply analyzing, and question selection. Do these things, and hopefully by the end of August, you will be completely a different student.